What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. I can't be any more excited than I am right now. Great show for you tonight, and we're ready to kick it off. Sitting beside me, as always, the one, the only, the young gun, Baby Bruss.
What's good, everyone?
And in the comfort of his own home, kicked back, chilling, it is the man himself, Little Guapo. What's up, man?
What's up?
Of course, want to say our thank yous to those that make it happen out here. Thanks to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for our theme music. Track's called Head Rush. The album's called Monsters. Not a bad track on the album. Make sure you check it out. I want to say thank you to the guy that makes this all work. The guy. We've got a good show for you tonight. It's going to be packed. We're going to do a little bit of a recap. Then we've got a special guest coming in tonight. So we've got the one and only, the man, Mack The Franchise, live tonight. I cannot wait to talk to him. We've got so much to talk about. We are going to have a little bit of an ad coming in here shortly, and then we're going to get right to the recaps. So,
appreciate you, the Cowmando, for the follow.
The Cowmando. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you.
I doubt he hears it because I think we have an ad right now. But thanks for the follow, big dog. So, if there's,
are we in the ad right now?
probably.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind.
Whoop.
We have an ad coming. If you don't want to see the ad, y'all subscribe to us. No more ads. Pretty magical thing. So y'all,
there you go.
Y'all let us know. Hit that subscribe button down there.
Everybody gets a free subscribe, so
That's true.
let's go.
Just a little something to put out there for the guy. Mac says that it's telling him Mike's disabled while backstage.
So,
Oh, it did tell me that on my phone one time. That's what it is.
Okay, so we're good there.
It told me that on my phone. I remember. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah. I would say when I did it at Kate's house, it told me that. I remember.
All right, so the guy's going to let us know when we're coming back from ads because we're still getting used to all of this. But
no, we can just keep talking.
We got plenty of time.
It's going to be
off the mat.
It's going to be good.
No one's subscribed.
Golly, we have a lot to talk about.
Guapo FMX is subscribing.
Yes,
so
yes, he is.
Watch no ads.
And Guapo FMX is watching right now. So
when we've got the Cowmando saying Chode in the chat, and that tells me exactly who that is. That's my boy Jimmy from back in the day. Jimmy, what's up? Glad you're here, brother.
what are you?
I didn't know that said Chode. It's blanked out on mine. How do you see it says Chode?
I don't know. It shows up on mine.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, it's there.
Stars on mine.
It's because you're too young to see words like that.
I guess so. Oh, show message. Oh, it does say Chode.
Not even like the. That's crazy. Just out the gate. How did you know who that was?
It's a long story that I'll tell you after the podcast.
All right. Anyway,
I don't want to know.
I don't think I want to know what that story's about, man.
It's a long story from a galaxy far, far away and a long, long time ago.
Let's keep it there. Let's keep it there.
Yeah, let's let it stay right there.
There's this box, right?
Exactly.
This guy thinks he's funny. Well, in terms of wrestling news, been a lot happening. Before we really get into it, let me this one asked you, Mr. Analytics over there. How do y'all feel about McMahon being at the Cincinnati show?
You mean the Connecticut show? Well, I mean the show that happened wasn't too far away from the towers, so
it
makes sense. But he was that report said he was in Gorilla.
Was it Raw? Was it on Raw?
Yeah, for Raw.
Yeah, he was in the Gorilla position.
Well, if he was there, that was one of the best Raws I've seen in months. That was a banger Raw.
Absolutely.
Why are you making that face, Hunter?
Okay.
You had Ricochet and Shinsuke.
Definitely banger
You
Raw.
had KO and Gunther.
That was, and then the first title match.
Yeah, and then Damien. Oh man, it was a banger Raw.
I just
was a
mean
banger row.
you're like both of the women's matches were, I mean, there was no investment in those. The Indus Share one, I mean, that Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander didn't even stand a chance.
Well, see, I mean, let's not give all of it away before we actually get into the recap. So
All right,
I'm
well,
gonna
with
have to ask the guy. Are we back from ad? All right, we are back from ad. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay, so we're going to talk about a few things before we get into our recap. Of course, want to talk about some of our local shows coming up. We've got BCW Hot Blooded, July 1st, TMW Event Center in Levelland, 202 Houston, not Houston, 202 Avenue H.
There you go.
What a card. I mean, this is insane. So, of course, we've got our main event, which is going to be the wild card Jeb Bingham against that metal maniac himself, Sledge. And I cannot wait to see that. This, of course, round 2 for them. You know, they've already had a match, so this is round 2, a chance for a wild card to get a little revenge there. We've got the American Tragedy Phoenix issuing an open challenge. I'm interested to see who takes that one. That's
a dangerous thing to do right there.
I can tell you,
this is a monster.
I can tell you it won't be me.
Yeah, I'm not stepping up. I'll tell you what.
Fair.
We've got Damian Blood and Alton Black in a no holds barred match, and with a match of this caliber, with a match that this crazy, you have to have the right ref. And so Big Mike went out and got pro MMA fighter Mighty Mateo Gonzalez to be the special guest referee in this match. So,
and it's gonna be needed, guys. If y'all don't like, I know there's still a lot of you that don't really come to these shows. If for nothing else, y'all need to come for that Alton Black match and Damian Blood, because that's just gonna be crazy.
I was about to say Sledge and Jeb is gonna be crazy.
I know. Yeah, speaking of
Sledge
is here, guys.
Sledge, thank you for the follow, brother. Appreciate it.
We've been talking about how awesome independent wrestling is. Now they're having someone that like is on TV gonna be there. Like, how else can you make it better? Like y'all gonna miss the show of the year if y'all aren't there. I'm telling you.
Well, yeah. It's gonna be a great show. And of course, later on in the show, we're gonna have Mack The Franchise on. He's got a match with Scar. That's gonna be a whole lot of people. That's a whole lot of person.
Yeah,
you know, that's what I said. I can't be there that day, so Mac's gonna handle business for me. You know,
that's okay. Scar's gonna wait for you because he's, he
ain't gonna wait for nothing because Mac gonna take him out.
But
there you go.
We'll talk more about that match once we get Mac on here, so you can see some of these reactions.
We've got a 4-way match coming up for the #1 contendership. Emilio Guzman, Gabriel Alexander, Damo, Justin Taylor.
What am I talking about?
That's going to be a match to see right there. All four of these guys could be champions in their own right. So going for that #1 contendership, this match is going to be absolute fire. We've got the BCW old school title match. It's the Resistance versus Already Dead. Now, I haven't had a chance to see Already Dead wrestle yet, so I'm excited to see that. The Resistance, I'm not real fond of the way they came about getting their BCW old school tag team titles, but hey, you get what you can get, right?
Yeah, they were all right in the ring. You can't say they weren't.
We have Justin James, Franco D'Angelo, and Big Ced, also known as the Guerrilla Militia, going to be in action. These are big guys. These are like
gorillas.
Yeah, it's going to be something to see. We're going to get the debut of Island Rage. I don't know if y'all have heard about this yet. Island Rage is something I'm definitely looking for. Baby Samoa and Brian Rage Rivera.
Okay.
Making their BCW debut. I'm looking forward to that one.
That's sick.
We're going to have a segment, something we haven't really had on BCW before, a night in the spotlight. Now, by me saying a night in the spotlight, that's going to be Logan Knight. And he's going to have his guest star on, TJ Slater, the one and only. Got to see him a couple of shows ago against Justin Taylor. This dude,
Justin, all right, man.
Yeah, he.
Yeah. So
that's a lot. That's
yeah.
It takes a lot to manhandle Justin Taylor. So
that's a lot of dude that he was moving around right
now. If that wasn't enough, if this whole card that I just read to you wasn't enough, We're starting the day out. This is your opportunity. So if you're listening right now, if you're listening later on, this is your opportunity. July 1st, 2023 at the TMW Event Center here in Levelland for $30. You can go to the Metalhead Maniacs Sledges seminar. He's going to tell you what it's about. I mean, he's going to show you. I'm not going to give anything away about what he's going to show you, but it's a chance to learn from one of the best in the business. So,
yeah, I mean, you guys are actually tripping if you're not coming to this show, and you're really missing out if you're not coming to this seminar. This seminar right here is like an important part of what got us where we're at is learning. And that being here in Loveland, Texas, I mean, I don't know when you're ever going to get this opportunity again.
well,
And
and
$30, that's 2 Burger King meals. You know what I mean? That's not crazy, you know?
Yeah, you're not like dropping something wild.
$30 for the opportunity to learn from Sledge about in-ring work, about mic work, about where the camera is at, about just the business in general. I could see paying $300 for that. So $30 for that. If you're not there, I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
That again is going to be at noon, July 21st, right there at the TMW Event Center before the matches start and everything. It's your chance to get in there and learn the business from one of the best. Looking forward to everything that's happening that day. Make sure you pick your tickets up. You can get them online. You can get them from the BCW socials. You can get them from I forgot the name of it, Tobacco Express
Yeah,
Liquors.
you can get them from driving around town, find one of the posters. They got little QR codes on them. Give them a little scan. You're good to go.
So make sure you pick your tickets up for that. Join the seminar. Come to the show July 1st. It's going to be fire.
No, yeah, we're like, I cannot advocate for this more. If you're watching this podcast and you're not going to be at that show, you're just going to be at your house chilling, you're doing something wrong.
Little guapo.
All right, I'm not gonna be at my house chilling.
Yeah, he's got a reason. If you got a reason, I'm not going to hold it over you.
Sorry.
If you don't have a reason, you have to be there.
All right, July 22nd, Jake's Backroom, Squared Circle Pro doing headlocks and heat waves. Now, we don't have the whole lineup for this yet, but listen to what we do have. You've got Ryan Justice versus the one called Manders for the SCP Championship. Now, if you were at the last show, you could see in Ryan's face that he was a little taken back by seeing the promo from the one called Manders. So that's going to be a good match on its own. You've got Emilio Guzman and Cesar Torres in a taped fist match.
Yes.
Brothers having a little squabble within the ranks. So it's going to be good. I can't wait to see that one. You've got LC Mox and Dylan Scott. Now, Dylan Scott, at the last show, he got to choose who LC Mox was going to go against, and he chose the one, the only, the Penguin. If you haven't seen pictures from that, our boy Jay Conrad Photo, Josh got some great pictures of that. Go check those out. It was something to see. But LC Mox jumping in with Dylan Scott now. They're going to go at it, and there's no love lost there. So it's going to be a good one. You've got Bloodlust versus Los Crudos. It's a Texas death match. If you've ever seen Bloodlust, you already know every match is a Texas death match for them. You've got Damian Blood. You've got Lilith Blood going against Los Crudos. Last time they came to the ring, Los Crudos had a bottle of tequila and a weed eater. I'm not sure.
So it's time.
I'm not sure where that's going to go. So this is the third time they've gone into this match, and this time there is going to be a winner, and the winner will be crowned the Squared Circle Pro Tag Team Champions.
So that's a big match, and that's two banger tag teams right there.
Now, I'm not sure in what way they're going to be used, but at the last show, we had Marquis Jackson, Evelyn Carter, Mosh Pit Mike, and Thunder all dropping promos saying they're going to be there. So I'm interested to see where they play into everything. And we're going to get the debut of Oliver Vagos. And as we just talked about, making his Squared Circle Pro debut, TJ Slater.
Heck yeah.
If you haven't seen TJ Slater wrestle, this guy is what you think of when you think of a professional wrestler. He's got the moves, he's got the build, he's got the ring awareness. I mean, He is
Yeah,
what
dude.
you picture when you picture a professional wrestler. So it's going to be cool seeing him there. And tomorrow, there is a huge announcement coming out. So if you haven't already done it, go check out Squared Circle Pro Facebook. That's where they're going to be making their announcement. Now, I've had a little birdie in my ear tell me that it might have something to do with, well, no, that birdie might say bad things if I throw it out there. You're going to have to check it out on the socials tomorrow. Squared Circle Pro Facebook. They're going to make this huge announcement for the show, July 22nd, Headlocks and Heat Waves at Jake's Backroom in Lubbock. I hope to see all of you there because your boys are definitely going to be there.
For sure.
Yeah,
As
so
Mikey
that little
said,
birdie already owes you a chop. Don't make it two.
yeah,
Make it
don't.
two.
That's funny. All right. But as Mikey said, find a way, not an excuse. That's some
All right,
great
Mike,
words.
I get that, but my wife would come in there and destroy everything. It would be
She
bad.
would lay the
Who
smack
would dime
down
my
on
wife
all the
afterwards.
books.
Like,
All right, so want to take a moment again. Sledge, glad to see you here. Jay Conrad Photo, Josh, glad you're here. Jimmy, welcome to the show, man. Glad you made it out.
Appreciate the follow.
Rick, Mike, thank you guys for being here.
Okay.
I think we should speed through this recap so we can.
Yeah, all right, let's-
Maybe
so-
if Mac even wants to.
Yeah, I
join
was
in,
fixing
let
to
us know.
suggest that.
what he thinks
Mac
about
has
the recap.
been in the back rooms this whole time. So if the guy does, if no one has any objections,
That's
we'll just go ahead and do the recap with Mac.
No,
See
we're going to go ahead and do the recap first, then bring him in.
All right, well then never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just lied to y'all guys, but I'm gonna be very quick.
yeah.
For Raw, we had KO and Gunther, banger match. I mean, you can't banger match right there. Then there was Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura, banger match. I mean, just lined up without even talking about him. Banger match, just in terms of booking. And we had what is his name? Seth Rollins,
Seth freaking
Rollins, and Damian Priest. And
Definitely gonna be a Damian Priest face turn, I guess.
I feel like that's going to happen.
he's turning.
Judgment Day is gonna turn on him. It's gonna be like Edge and Finn, but I think JD McDonough will take
Yes, for sure.
Damian's spot.
Damian spot. Yeah, they're definitely
that's what I see.
painting Damian to branch off. After that, okay, so the first match, KO and Gunther, is just, I mean, there's nothing I can say.
It's KO and Gunther.
It's
I
excellent.
mean,
They both know exactly what they're doing. It was amazing. Then Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura ended up being the ref called it after Bronson Reed came in very predictably and just body slammed both of them.
Bronson a little
Like,
upset
killed him
about getting beat
losing.
by Shinsuke last week.
Yes, and then so he took out Ricochet too, because why not? Then there was Natalya and Zoe Stark as a Money in the Bank qualifier, and I mean, Natalya hasn't really done anything in a while,
I really
and they're
hate what they're
obviously
doing with
building
Natty.
Zoe Stark. So yeah, it's very sad to see Natalya go that way, because it's not even a problem of the women's division anymore with all the NXT call-ups. It's a problem of booking. Like, we knew Zoe Stark was winning because she's getting the push, but we knew she was winning because she was against freaking Natalya. See, I mean, they haven't built her up in years.
There's some build that needs to be done in the women's division in WWE.
As well as Sonya Deville and Becky Lynch. Who do you think won that? When's the
Oh,
last
well,
time
it's
Sonya
Becky Lynch.
Deville
I
beat?
can't remember the last time Sonya
anyone in
Deville
mid-
won a match.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Crazy stuff. Then there was
That tag
Indus
team match with the Ronda Rousey and Baszler.
Shayna
which is
Baszler
the
with-
NXT call-ups.
Yeah,
Actually,
Kaden and Katana.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match, honestly. I
Yeah,
thought for point
I do
five
wanna-
they were gonna win.
I do want to say something about that match. I have never been a fan of the Rousey Baszler tag team. It's always been go in, bully everybody, and leave, and that gets old and gets stale really, really fast. But I really like the way that they took the call-ups and let them shine. Yes, they
Yeah.
got the win, but they gave them a chance to shine. It wasn't just go in and bully.
So basically, what we're seeing a lot of, that's like the whole community right now, is there's not a lot of people happy with Baszler and Ronda Rousey winning the tag titles, but hopefully because of that, maybe
I mean, who else would they put
Triple
it
H.
at this very moment? what
Exactly.
tag
Yeah.
team is credible enough to.
Who's going to get it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
So hopefully they take it in a different direction to start letting these NXT people, like they've already done with this first match, start shining. So we start getting some real tag team in the women's tag division.
Did y'all see that? I think probably one of the bigger things from the night, besides the Damian Seth match, was the Cody Rhodes
The Miz
yeah,
TV
Miz TV.
with Dom and Rhea.
Yeah,
Yeah, good stuff. Nice promo. Cody was really
you think
destroying Dom.
you think Brandy Rhodes makes a little comeback for like a
Man, I hope so.
match?
That'd be dope.
I would love
That'd be
to see
sick.
It
Brandy
would be
come back.
cool, but Rhea's gonna like destroy her.
Yeah, it'd be like
Well,
scary.
And it's funny, I saw a TikTok earlier today of Dominic coming back through Gorilla and saying, you know, whoa, I just have Cody Rhodes.
And all went hid behind his mom's.
Yeah, also
Hate that.
saw something that they're about to change the women's titles. Did y'all see that? They're
I
gonna,
haven't seen that one.
they're gonna mirror the men's titles, but they're
Where
gonna
it's
be
not the Raw Women's Champ and
Yeah.
SmackDown. Thank God.
So like Rhea's title is gonna look like Seth's, but it's gonna be white strapped and a little smaller, and Asuka's is gonna look like Roman's. But
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's equality right there, baby.
now SmackDown, since Hunter just skipped right over SmackDown, he went straight to Raw.
Hold on. We do have to get that grade though. What
Oh, you're right,
After
because it's
seeing-
Thursday.
after seeing what you saw with Raw, what's your grade? What do you give Raw this week?
All right, so the women's matches were very depressing. Like, we knew who was going to win. There was nothing we were like wanting to get out of that. Other than that, it was great stuff. I'm going to A-. The matches were just perfect. And I loved watching every bit of almost every match, besides the two women's ones and the other tag match with Indus Sher. That was just sad. Seeing Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, they better not be in a ring together again as a tag team.
Well,
If-
I think
if
it's
that's
time
what they're
that
going to do with it.
I honestly feel like it's time that happens. It's become apparent that they're not going to do this new iteration of
Hurt Locker,
the
Hurt.
Business hurt.
the Hurt Business. So they need to let what the hell?
Anyways,
was
they need
that?
to let them.
They need to let
Part
Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander go ahead and part ways and do
Shelton
the singles
Benjamin just
thing.
need to go home.
I really think a reformed Hurt Business with the Street Profits on SmackDown would be such a banger. It would be.
It would
What are they
absolutely.
doing?
It
That's
would.
what I'm saying.
Especially, I mean, now, all right, I give Raw an A+ because, yeah, the women's matches were not that great, but the Cody segment and then the 3 matches we talked about, I mean, those are,
Those were
PLE level matches.
Well,
And we got 3 of them on one Raw, and I thought that was pretty awesome.
I give it right in the middle of the both of you. I give it a straight A.
all right.
But
Let's run
SmackDown,
into SmackDown.
you had Montez Ford versus LA Knight for Money in the Bank qualifiers match. And I'm a huge fan of both. I love both of them. The crowd was very on LA Knight's side. Montez Ford was getting booze, and he was kind of like, playing into it a little. I would love to see Montez Ford turn heel. I think it's going to be.
That'd be.
I hope
wild.
they do because I mean he looks the part, like just in the little bit he kind of played it in that match. Like I think it would be.
He's just has the instinct.
Yeah, and I hate that they put Knight and Ford against each other because I think both of them.
Because one of them
should
had to
be-
lose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both of them should be in that in the Money
For
in the
sure.
Bank match. But I'm happy LA Knight won it. I don't think WWE can ignore LA Knight much longer. The crowd reaction he's getting.
I think LA Knight deserved it more than Montez Ford. I do.
Yeah, I don't
He
think
needs the
they
bigger
can't
push.
ignore him much longer. He's going to have to get some kind of push eventually.
Oh, absolutely. And it's time.
Yeah, no,
It's
that was
definitely
a
time.
good move. It was just sad to see
Yeah,
because I want to see Montez Ford as well. Anyways,
the big segment of the night was of course Roman's celebration. He got a new title from Triple H, mustard yellow. Looks just like the WWE Championship, but mustard colored. Don't know how I feel about that, but
yeah, I'm not a big fan personally.
it is what it is. In 3 weeks we won't care anyway.
Facts.
But yet again, showed what little power Adam Pearce has because, the Usos were supposed to be barred from SmackDown. And of course, the Usos come out. Jimmy starts talking to Roman, telling him, we need to do this, or I did what I did, to protect my family, my brother. He was trying to get Jay to kick Jimmy in the face. Told him, let's do this as equals, respect for each other. And he said he was going to protect Solo too. And Solo, Roman was like, well, let's see what Solo has to say. And Solo was like, well, they're my brothers. And stood next to him against Roman. It was Roman standing against the three of them. Roman teared up a little bit, hugged Jimmy, basically told him no, he's not going to do that. And Solo Samoan spiked Jimmy. So
it was a real nice.
Jimmy is out the bloodline.
Yeah. So, and then
that was real nice.
Raw also, Jay was given an ultimatum, so we get to see where that goes tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm excited.
SmackDown, all in all, you had the whole Grayson Waller effect. There was two talk shows on SmackDown. You had Austin Theory did his little. I don't even remember what he called his segment. Austin Talks, something like that.
Yeah.
But called I didn't know what to think. I did not expect Pretty Deadly and Austin Theory to be paired together.
It works.
I think it works fantastically.
It works really well.
I'm telling you, bro, the now has got to be coming soon.
Yeah.
It's got to come.
So I think you're gonna get Sheamus and Austin Theory at Money in the Bank for the United States title. That'll be good.
That'll be a good match.
That's gonna be great.
And then you had the Grayson Waller effect, where he had Asuka out there, and then pretty much every Io Sky, Bailey came out there, Zelina Vega came out there. They basically, the whole Money in the Bank crew was out there saying, well, I'm going to do this. And then Bianca Belair came out. Her and Asuka got into it. All in all, it was a pretty good SmackDown. Solid matches. Of course, the Bloodline. I mean, Friday nights are pretty much all about the Bloodline at this very moment. We live for that. But
still some of the best storytelling out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue with it. I love it.
Austin McMahon, it's the best storyline since Austin.
The 1,000-day mark, like this one specifically, was just like it was. I don't know. It was beautiful to watch. The nice little picture moment of the three brothers against Roman was really nice. That they gave that moment to breathe, and then the turn with Solo was crazy.
Yeah,
it was beautiful to watch.
So, what do you give SmackDown this week?
I give it a A. I want to see there's still no. What are we gonna do with Grayson Waller? Where's that gonna go? Dude's been on SmackDown a month now and has just done talk shows.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything. I gotta say mine. I gotta change my answer. Raw was an A. I don't know why I said A-. I just can't give it a plus. A- for SmackDown. Match quality was a little, but that's usually how it goes with SmackDown. The storytelling was just peak. Can't not give it an
A. I'm with that. I give it an A. I think SmackDown the storytelling was good. I liked where it went. So it leaves me excited to see what happens tomorrow. So I give it an A.
Real quick on AEW.
That brings us into AEW Dynamite last night. It was a decent show. You started out with Orange Cassidy and Swerve Strickland for the international title. These two together are gold, like just absolute gold. From the storytelling to the way they put each other over, absolute gold. Swerve kept slamming Cassidy's hand into the ring post, which turned out well for him because Cassidy went for a roll up and couldn't get the pin in because his hand didn't work. A lot of back and forth in that. We got to see Swerve Strickland do a brain buster to Cassidy on the floor, and it looked ugly.
Yeah.
Gets him back in the ring, hits the swerve stomp, gets the Cassidy gets the kick out after 2. They went back and forth, but OC finally wins. And the moguls come down and they start whooping all over Orange Cassidy, and the lights go out. The lights come back on, and guess who's there? Sting and Darby Allin in the ring.
Shot.
in the ring, sitting right there with Orange Cassidy. This, of course,
Stop.
setting up a match later on, not later on last night, but later down the road, going to set up a good match.
Yep.
You had the Bullet Club Gold come down, and Bryan Danielson jumped on commentary. It was the Blackpool Combat Club versus Chaos, and it was exactly what you thought it would be. There was a lot of back and forth in it, but of course the Bullet Club or the BCC ends up winning the match. What happened after that, I'm not sure I can approve of. Hangman Adam Page and the Young Bucks, who have been given a new name when they're in a trio like that I'm not sure is not your average Mark Wrestling Podcast approved. They're called the Hung Bucks. I don't know if I agree with this, but
It's terrible.
that's so bad. The Hung Bucks. Anyway, Hangman Adam Page, Young Bucks challenge the BCC to a 6-man tag next week. Bryan Danielson says, yeah, we're going to do that. So looking forward to that next week. Best part of the night for me was what happened next. You had MJF in the ring running his mouth like he always does. One of the best guys on the mic. And Adam Cole comes out.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not a big fan of Adam Cole.
Well, I like the way he did. He works well with MJF, and them going back and forth on the mic worked.
I don't know. I thought MJF still killed him, and I thought Adam Cole was kind of corny.
I mean, a little bit, but so MJF says Vince thought Cole was trash, and he didn't think so, but now he does. Cole says if Cole tells him nobody respects him in the locker room. Tells MJF nobody respects you. Nobody here respects you, and says if he wasn't just all talk, they'd have a match. And so he agrees to it. And Adam Cole tells him, you know what? I'm not worried about this match with you because I'll tell you right now, I'm better than you. And they know it. And so, using MJF's line against him, I kind of dug that. After that, we had the weirdest promo with the Hardys and Ethan Page. And it was just some kind of feel-good moment. I was a little concerned with how that one was going.
Kind of made me freaked out, but I think that was the point.
So you had Jungle Boy and Hook against Dralisco and Preston Vance. This match had a little bit of everything in it. We had they threw cables in the ring. They threw chains, chairs. They tried to rip masks off, ladders, tables. I mean, there's a little bit of everything going on in this match. And it ends up with Dralistico tapping out. Jungle Boy made him tap out. The one thing I noticed here was Jungle Boy's a lot more aggressive.
Yeah.
Like he's
I think he's been that way since the Christian Cage feud. I think that really was the coming out party.
I think that's a good.
I think that's where that started. It makes one wonder, do you see a turn on Hook? Jungle Boy turning on Hook. So I'm interested to see what that happens down the road. We got the announcement everybody's been waiting for. Tony Khan comes out and announced the Collision main event.
Yeah.
And I can't lie, it's not a bad one. You've got Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Samoa Joe going against FTR and CM Punk.
I saw something that's like imagine CM Punk betrays FTR to become the leader of Bullet Club Gold.
I mean, it could be a thing. We'll have to tune in June 17th and find out.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Takeshita was in a squash match against Damon Ace. I mean, this match lasted all of 62 seconds. It gave him Takeshita a chance to get on the mic, and he talked a lot of trash to Kenny Omega and said that the only reason he beat Will Ospreay the first time was because Will was, wasn't feeling great that day. They go to a backstage thing about Christian Cage, and they're showing his door, and all you're hearing is like, sounds like somebody fighting in there. And Christian Cage comes out talking about how he doesn't like Arn Anderson. And Luchasaurus comes out, and you can see that they've beat up Brock Anderson, who is Arn Anderson's son. So that feud's fixing to happen. Chris Stratlander retained against Anna Jay, kept the TBS title.
All right,
that she
hold on.
just
You're
recently
gonna sit there and complain about Jeff Jarrett as much as you do, and then Arn Anderson is about to get in the storyline, and you ain't
No,
gonna
no,
say
no,
nothing.
no, no, no. Brock Anderson, Arn Anderson's son,
But
who is like 25,
But
is
you know
about to
Arn
get in.
Anderson is going to be involved. Obviously,
Yeah.
the whole thing is because Arn Anderson is going to be heavily involved in this.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
and
his
I'm sure he
story,
is.
right?
But no, Chris Stratlander retained against Anna Jay the TBS title that she just recently won. It was a good match. A lot of back and forth. I like where they're going with the TBS title. And of course, the main event was Ricky Starks versus Jay White, and it's everything you wanted it to be. I mean, they fought everywhere. They were fighting on the ramp. They were fighting on the floor. They were fighting in the ring. It was so back and forth. I really thought Ricky Starks was going to take this one. It got to the end of the match. He's going for the Rochambeau. But, of course, the referee gets in the way and gets hit. So the ref's down, and the guns come out. They catch Ricky Starks, and Jay White hits the Blade Runner for the win. I'm not sure why the guns are involved in this.
They're the newest members of the Bullet Club.
They got to be.
You gotta start building it up somehow.
Two other big takeaways from yesterday's show is, of course, we've got AEW Forbidden Door coming up.
Oh yeah,
And
you
so
didn't bring this up. I was gonna bring it up.
you're going to have Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada.
That's gonna be at least Meltzer's gonna rate that at least 7.5 stars.
If he doesn't, he's blind.
Yeah.
And then you've got Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay round 2.
Heck yeah.
So looking forward to that. I don't know if they're going to add the MJF Adam Page thing to this. They're going to save it for Wembley. I'm not sure what their plan is there. But all in all, it was a good show, good build-up.
What would you rate it?
I give it an A. It was a good show.
Yeah, I could give it an A, I guess. Yeah, the MJF promo was really good. Did you see the thing with Wardlow?
Yeah.
That was bad.
I hate where they're going with that. I really do.
Yeah.
All right,
But
so
yeah.
that gets us through our recap and gets us to the part of the show everybody's been waiting for.
So before we get into that, I just want to thank everyone watching the show this far. I know we got ads somewhere, so if y'all are getting tired of those and just want to watch this, y'all give us a subscribe. If y'all haven't followed yet and you're still watching, why not? It's free. Go ahead and give us a follow. And with that, I guess we're going to introduce.
It's time to bring in the man himself. He has been the Rampage Big Country champion. He has been the three-time Rising Star champ. He's one half of the West Texas Kings, the one, the only Mack The Franchise. What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy to be here.
Want to start by thanking you for joining us here tonight. It's always an honor to have you here.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
Yeah.
For sure.
So it's been kind of a crazy thing, just to kind of throw it out there. The last time we saw you in the ring, not only did there come a split of the West Texas Kings, but you got all over Scar.
Oh, yeah. I have to do that, man, because I'm tired of Star. See, he's been running around talking about nobody can break his bear hug challenge, being a bully, and I can't stand the bully. See, I got bullied growing up, and so something kind of just broke in me whenever I just saw him in the ring continuing to stand over that individual after he won the match. That was just unnecessary.
No, absolutely it
Yeah,
was.
I completely agree.
So
Yeah, see,
let's
sorry.
let's start out at the beginning here. So what is it that got you into pro wrestling? Like myself, I was 5, 6 years old watching wrestling with my grandfather. As I got older, the boys both watched it with me. And what is it that got you into pro wrestling?
So, watching pro wrestling, it was actually my uncle. We used to sit down and watch SmackDown together. The thing that he used to always kind of be on, but the thing that kind of caught my attention was that Hulk Hogan, Mr. America stuff, because I was just sitting there, I was like, bro, that's just Hulk Hogan. Like, what's going on?
Same
And
music.
I started watching from there. And funny enough, like I have like 2 journeys with like watching wrestling and stuff. Like I got grounded because I did like the Rikishi stink face to my sister. I like knocked her 2
I bet she didn't appreciate that at all.
I bet she wasn't too happy about that.
It was terrible. Yeah. So like my mom was like, no more wrestling. My uncle was like sad. I was sad. After that, I kind of like forgot about it for years. But then I started watching it again after this March Madness tournament I was watching. The game went off and then SmackDown came on, and then it was that CM Punk when he came out and interrupted Rey Mysterio's daughter's birthday. I was just like, I got sucked in like right in there. I was like, who's this dude? And like I knew Ray, and so I just got sucked right into it. Like I figured out what channel SmackDown was on, and this was like 10 years later. I was still kind of scared to turn it on in front of my parents. I didn't know they were. So I just kept watching it, and then I kept watching it. And then I kind of got into wrestling after playing football. I got hurt. I was playing football at Austin College. I tore my ACL. I came home. I got paid one day. My boss was like, "Hey, they got this Rampage Wrestling going on at a Boys and Girls Club," and they gave me 2 tickets to the show. And then I went, and I was in there like swimwear, my guy. Like I was trying to get there. I messaged the page, like hyped myself up. I was like, I'm a former NCAA collegiate athlete, and like I would like the opportunity to, get in the ring, show what I can do, and that's where we got from here. With some ups and downs along the way, with some hills and valleys.
Awesome.
Well, I feel like you kind of worked out where you're at right now. At least me personally, watching you, like, as you know, like I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, I think. So, and I mean, you're great to watch. So I feel like you're doing all right.
I appreciate that. Like I always want to be great to watch because I used to watch a lot growing up. So like I remember stuff that like, I wasn't a fan of, but I just like wrestling. Like, I don't know. It's like I grew up watching a certain kind of wrestling, but then once I started doing it myself, I fell in love with a different kind of wrestling. So I just try to mesh them together.
Gotcha. That's
I'll
awesome.
say, me personally, like I love the story aspect of wrestling. Of course, that's what gets everybody. But now I'm also to the point where there doesn't always have to be a story, but if it's just a good match, like the wrestlers are great, they make a story in the ring, and it's real awesome. I enjoy watching it. That's what I love about the independent scene in West Texas. Guys like you, Jeb, Ryan. Y'all always, no matter what, every match I've watched has been a good. I have not seen a bad match in West Texas independent wrestling. It's been
I haven't either. And my favorite part about Mack the Franchise, guys, this dude came out at the beginning of the show and like just got us inversed. Like it was hey, we're starting the show, and then boom, here is all of this. Oh man, split it up, West Texas Kings. But like your energy really like trapped everybody in, and then you keeping like how you were talking about. I don't know. It was awesome. It was exactly like Lil Guapo said. You just immediately built the story in the ring, and I was immediately invested into it. I mean, it's just great stuff.
Yeah, man. Like I didn't want to pitter patter around. I had to stuff to get off my chest. So as soon as I got out there, I had to just lay it all out there because everything I said was true. And Gabe, you ever get to watch this? I still love you, buddy. West Texas Kings for life. And I got to get some singles wins on my resume. You see, I be traveling.
True.
I've been Rampage. I've been a champion in Rampage, but I need to do other stuff in other places. And right now, my record in BCW is Jack Diddley squat, and I need to change.
You're trying to do something to fix that.
We've actually got our first question from the chat. Mikey says Cody had a list of several wrestlers that he thought would advance him. If you could choose 5 wrestlers currently in Texas, who would they be?
Currently in Texas. Oh, man, there are a lot of people. I need to get Justin. He's on my list. Justin's on my list. I definitely want to wrestle Barrett Brown. I want to get that going.
Heck yeah.
I actually need to wrestle Ryan Justice. I actually have picked up his jacket before. He was wrestling when I was training, and like I had to pick up his jacket and walk to the back with it. So like coming full circle, I'll see him in the back sometimes, and so it's kind of crazy. And so maybe we need to make that happen one day.
That's awesome.
That'd be a good match.
That's sick.
I just wish I could just be in the ring every single day, so I'm trying to pick some other people. Oh, one person I do want to wrestle, DFW area. His name's Bo Amir, 7-foot tall French giant. That's a mountain up to climb.
Ooh.
That's kind of weird.
That's wild.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah, sounds like
very big man.
I played D-line, guys. How many people was that? I can keep listing people I want to wrestle.
that was 4. Give us one more.
One more. Ooh, Exodus Prime. I want to wrestle Exodus Prime. I definitely want to do
There
that.
you go.
All right. That's the list right there.
That's a hard list.
That's a very good
That's,
list.
yeah,
I'm-
that's
I'm
dope.
digging that. So you were talking about Gabriel and West Texas Kings for life, and I kind of want to touch on that for just a minute. The West Texas Kings. How did that start up? How did you and Gabe get together?
So like, kind of almost like the Sheamus and the Cesaro thing with the bar, like when they kind of like fought each other enough where they kind of joined teams. Well, except we didn't beat each other to the extent that they did. We've had matches over the years against each other, and I figured that, hey man, you got the Sonic, I got the Boom, man. We can make this happen.
I like
We
that.
wanted together, we wanted to run the tag team division, so that's how we came together to become the West Texas Kings. Because personally, with tag teams, I like the combo of like a speed guy and a power guy, and I felt that
Y'all had it.
we would go something with that and do something with that, and that's just what I wanted to try. But sometimes stuff don't just work out. Like with the Lakers, they tried to get Russell Westbrook. If on paper you trade and get AD, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook, and I think at some point that Carmelo on their team, like in 2K, you running that like all day.
I'll say AD stands for always disappointing. So
yeah, like for real.
That happens.
All right. Well, you said you wanted to get out there and you wanted to run the tag division. Obviously, you guys have done that. I mean, y'all are probably one of my favorite tag teams to watch. So, do you have any stories from like? Do you remember your first match as the West Texas Kings?
Oh man, our first match, they didn't give us an easy one. We had to face like two of the biggest dudes. Like it was like almost like 700 pounds in the ring.
Jeez.
Two big old dudes and monkeys. So they were like real team big, and they were in suits. My boy, it was Scar. We got history. So like July 1st, Scar, you know what's coming. But it's Scar and my boy DL Hartley, who he's like a friend of me too. So it was our first match tagging together, and they put the whooping on us. Like tag team wrestling is a lot different than singles.
Yeah.
You have to learn. He's been a singles champion. I've been a singles champion. But like that tag team stuff, we got to put in the work. And like our first match, we trained together, but that first time running a match is a lot different. But
Yeah, you don't got
we
the
came
chemistry
out-
established.
No, we don't. We really escaped with it. Like, we just got one lucky shot. That's why I like doing my clotheslines, because sometimes you don't need to be the best wrestler in the world. You just gotta have the best hit in the world. And
True.
you gotta get lucky.
Very true. Just knock them down long enough.
And I'm not afraid to say that watching you deliver those clotheslines, I mean, those are like Gunther level
would stand out.
clotheslines.
I get hit by one of those and I'm out. Like that's
I
a
didn't know
mean
that. I see you running at me with your arm. I'm rolling out the ring. I'm
move.
taking the count out. Like, nah.
That's why I'm so excited for this match with Scar, because y'all are both just straight up powerhouses. So I don't know what to think.
I know what to think. I think Matt gonna handle business.
Yeah, I also think Mac's gonna handle business. I think you got more of it in here. You got more of the spirit, but I didn't really want to say that with Scar listening.
I'm gonna let Scar know you said that too.
I also really respect him. He's also just freaking strong.
Yeah, he is. I respect Sar. That man is a walking weapon. He knows
I know.
martial arts. He doesn't need to break them out a lot. But yeah, he knows martial arts. As you guys see, he's pretty large. Like he's like just a walking like Maui, just stomping around, beating people up.
I wasn't aware that he knew martial arts. So
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
even
got a whole
scary.
thing to tell you about that.
oh,
Looking
Shout
over,
out,
looking over at
Calmando.
the chat, the Commando having to bail out. Jimmy, thanks for being here, man. We're happy to have you here. We do this every Thursday. Hope to see you again. We did get another question, and I guess it's the question of the night.
True.
Can you break the bear hug?
Can you do it?
Can I break the bear hug? See, funny enough, me and Scar have had a match, but he didn't put me in the bear hug. He beat me, but he did not put me in that bear hug. So, Scar, I'm gonna break that bear hug July 1st.
Ooh, there
He's
it
not
is.
answering whether he can. He's answering if he's going to.
I like it. I like it.
I'm excited, man.
That's going to be good. So this is kind of a question that's more personal, if you don't mind, than some of the in-ring stuff. But I'd like to know who are your inspirations? Who were your influences, not just in the ring, but also out of the ring?
I got a lot of stuff. As you see, like I got the jerseys and everything, and that comes from me loving sports, watching sports growing up. And so, like for me, when I'm in the ring, when I'm busting out a move, or like if I'm hitting somebody good and they go down, that's kind of like when you get like a sack on 4th down, or you drain in a 3 with 1 second, like that kind of feeling. And so like I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna bust out like a celebration. Like I'll do like the ice tray shiver. I'll be doing the rockin' the baby. Do the stuff like LeBron. I get hyped like Ray Lewis. I do a lot of stuff in sports. I like Muhammad Ali. I pull from music too, like the rap culture and the wrestling culture kind of like intertwined. Like you hear like a rapper talk about a wrestler, and sometimes you see a rapper like in the stands
Bad
watching
Bunny.
the show. Sometimes like when you watch them like in the music videos, like in a concert, you want to kind of like have like that confidence and like that swag and that vibe kind of deal.
Right.
So I pull from that.
That's
Movies, a lot of I'm a sucker for 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2000s. If a gun goes off or somebody kicks somebody, I'm probably gonna watch it.
That's good
I
stuff.
like
Right.
that.
Good stuff.
So, off topic of wrestling, just to get to know you a little more. Who are who's your basketball team? Who's your football team?
Oh yeah, and I'm all Dallas all the way. Unfortunately, I'm not someone who has like a team here and a team over here. Like we grew up just a DFW fan, and so fortunately, I've grown up my entire life like watching the Cowboys not do anything. Like I think I was born a month after they won their last Super Bowl, and like I think when I was 13, they won their first playoff game in 13 years, and I was just looking around like, hey. What were y'all doing? Like I can't.
Let's go.
Did it. I'll say me and Guapo are Raiders fans, so we understand the pain of just
That ain't no lie.
I'm just sitting there and watching nothing happen.
yeah, it's terrible.
I'm a little familiar with it, but not as with these guys. We at least make it to the playoffs most of the time.
He's a Saints fan.
Yes,
in case
I'm
you
a
were
Saints
wondering.
fan. Was almost not going to be if we kept only having Andy Dalton as our freaking quarterback. But now we got Derek Carr, so we'll see what happens.
I thought James Winston was going to do something nice. Like,
Same, exactly. That's all he did. That's his only contribution was doing that.
Eating the W.
Yeah.
I do that stuff sometimes. But I feel that the Saints, they have a solid roster. It's just like, dang, bro, like, is Drew Brees like just y'all whole team? Like, he just retired and everybody was like, oh, well, how do we play football? Like, I don't know how we do that.
Yeah, they just forgot.
I saw something yesterday. DeMar Hamlin was back in OTAs, and it was like DeMar Hamlin died, and he's back practicing before Michael Thomas came back. It's like, man.
That's good.
Thomas, I don't like him either. I got a lot of hate for people in fantasy for some dumb reason. Like I had Michael Thomas in fantasy, and I drafted him real high that year that he just didn't want to play.
Yeah, I know. That dude makes me mad too because of freaking fantasy. But anyways, so the Mavs and the Cowboys, that's pretty good stuff. I'm a fan of the Mavs, but I mean Cowboys would have.
Yeah, 2011 was so beautiful. It was like yesterday. I still think about Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, and Dirk. It was great. But now every year I just get to watch Luka get 40 points and then we lose on purpose to get good draft picks or whatever. It's cool.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be wild.
Again, Raiders fans, I understand that.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So, you got it.
We've got a question came in the chat. Mike wants to know if you're still afraid of ladders.
Oh, yes.
So we ain't gonna see you jump off the top of the ladder anytime
I've
soon.
been on the ladder since April 23rd. What was that? Like a year ago. Yeah, I fell off a ladder. I was in Lubbock's first ever ladder match, and I was reaching for my championship. There was 2 up there, and it was for the Undisputed Rising Star Championship, and I vainly wanted to grab my belt first because I felt it was a pretty, so I had to turn it all the way around to grab it, and that cost me. And I got hit with a steel chair, and then I got thrown all the way to the floor.
That's quite the drop. Yeah, no.
I'd have a problem with ladders after that too.
Yeah, can't blame you. So,
I was out there.
Oh man.
you mentioned that music inspired you, like kind of wrestling wise. Who, like, can you kind of dive deeper into that? Like, what about who ties into wrestling for you? 'Cause that's really interesting to me.
I mostly listen to like hype, kind of like upbeat kind of stuff, like stuff that almost makes you kind of want to fight people. Like I like listen to like
Makes sense.
Migos, Moneybagg Yo. I like listening to Nav. I
Nice.
of course listen to people's themes, like WWE themes. Sometimes I actually stopped doing that as much since I started wrestling. I just get myself hyped with other stuff. Roy Jones Jr. Of course, he has his 2 songs.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, that's cool.
So, I've asked about what your influences were in the ring, out of the ring. One thing I like about West Texas independent wrestling, every time I go to a show, the one thing that you can always count on is the kids that are there. And the kids make it, I mean, just the interaction with the kids. How does it feel knowing that you can be, and very well maybe that influence for one of these kids? It's like, I'm gonna get in the ring and I'm gonna do what he does.
That continues to like really blow my mind. Like every day when I come out and like kids make noise and people go like, yeah, I'm like, oh my God, they like me. I'm surprised every time. Like,
Yes.
every time, like the second before I come out, I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't get this or worse, like the silence. I'm scared of silence.
Oh yeah, silence
That
is
would
bad.
suck.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'll let you know. You ain't never got to worry about that as long as I'm there.
That's
Next.
fair.
I like watching you wrestle. I like your energy, man. So I'll be cheering. Don't you worry about that.
He's a loud individual too, so
Yeah, he's not quiet when he goes to the shows.
Oh man.
about the being influences for kids, some people are not very good influences. The last show I was at, there was like a group of 3 kids in the corner, and I saw a kid stand on a chair and jump off the chair and do an elbow drop, just sitting in the corner. I was like, these kids are having a crazier match than what's going on in the ring right now.
Oh man, yeah, I know the pre-show for the last one I went to, the BCW one. There was a bunch of kids there that were just like running a match, and it was really cool because they were like, one kid was like acting like he was kneeing him, and the other kid was like backing up like he was getting kneed. I was like, what the crap? You guys are like 5. How do you know this stuff? It was dope, man.
And it is cool to see that you get the little ones learning how to sell and how to.
Yeah, I was like, how do you know
it's
that?
it's cool to see, and they get that from wrestlers like you and Gabe and Justin, and I mean.
All right, so now this fatal 4-way coming up. You think your boy Gabe's got what it takes to win that match and then go on and win the BCW championship?
Well, if he can beat me, he can beat anybody.
So, yeah, there you go.
No, I
never lied.
really think he seriously can, because Gabe has that fire, that determination, and that willpower to do whatever it takes and whatever he's willing to do to come out on top because he doesn't. This thing is, the biggest muscle in his body, and it doesn't know what the rest of this is. So he doesn't care how tall you are, how wide you are. He's going to bring you down and come out on top if he needs to. And so I think he's going to come out with that championship.
Well, he's definitely got his work cut out for him. Emilio Guzman, Damo McCullough, Justin Taylor, all three of them just absolute beasts in their own right. But, so is Gabriel. I mean,
yeah, Gabe, and you're not just making that up because he's your dude. Like his match against you saw like that was almost all heart that he was pushing through there. Like you guys were both like y'all just knew each other so well that it was just him just fighting just through it for him to get over you.
So I told you last podcast I got Gabriel winning. So well, whenever he wins, Max got him taking the title whenever he wins. So I'm gonna be the first to throw Max's name as his first contender.
Yeah, I mean
that'd be freaking dope.
I could see that. See Gabriel take the belt and then his first match against Mac. I mean
that'd be sick.
That'd be fire. Part 2 would be fire.
Yeah, run it back. Oh man, so obviously we love seeing independent wrestling. When you were called up and got to be at all of these shows and got to wrestle there, what has been like your number one, like, I guess, gratifying moment? Like what is the one that you remember where you walked out and felt like a wrestler? Or you walked in like after a match and you felt like a wrestler? Like
the first time I probably felt like a wrestler is when I traveled. Where did I travel to? No, not that one. I felt like a wrestler. It was an SEP show because SEP, I used to go there, and like I just always get nervous at SEP because like people were different, the vibes different, and like I'm different, and like I got different crowds and everything. Cause like as you say, like the kids, they love me, and like some kids follow me, and so like I can't be cussing and doing other stuff at the SEP shows. But I was wrestling there, and I got to wrestle Gino Rivera, and he's a guy who travels around, wins championships. You guys know of him.
Yeah, he gets a lot of
Puerto Rican pit bull, and so I knew that was going to be a challenge, an opportunity for me, and I finished the match. I should have won. Miss Paula Fate distracted the referee. I clotheslined his head off. I sent it back to New York. After that match, I felt pretty good because the crowd was all the way behind me. Like, they were behind me the whole way. Every time I was hitting them, somebody was live. I was live. And so I just kept making me hit them. And that's really like the thing about Mack The Franchise matches. The louder you yell, the harder I'm going to hit him. And so, like, they shouldn't be mad at me. They should be mad at y'all. But I'm going to keep hitting them.
That's awesome, man.
So we've talked about your influences. We've talked about how you got into it. Now let's talk about July 1st. Of course, we've kind of touched on the fact that you've got this match with Scar. A little bit of history there between the two of you. So tell me where your head's at going into this match.
Where my head's at is I've pretty much hated Scar my entire life, not just him, but like that name because of the Lion King.
Facts.
Legit story. My family hates Scar so much that one time we got a Happy Meal and it came with a Scar toy. My mom stopped, turned around, and we took it back and requested to get like an exchange for a different one.
She was like, no.
And so that history runs deep with Scar. And he's also beaten me. So to me, to him, I'm just a number in his tally. And so I know that he's going to be underestimating me. So my mindset is Scar. I'm going to take the fight to you fast and in a hurry. Because I'm here for a good time, not a long time, buddy.
Well, there you go.
There it is.
And if y'all weren't at the last BCW show where we saw Mack The Franchise, or if you just haven't seen him wrestle before, this guy is one of the most capable of bringing it real hard, real fast.
Oh, absolutely. Just to give everybody a little bit of a background into this. So at Head Games, BCW Head Games, that was the last show. Scar's in the ring, and he's who was I believe it was the Macho Man,
Yeah.
Chris Wolf, which I absolutely loved, by the way.
That was
I got everything from the where you going? You're going nowhere. Got the elbow drop, got the bionic elbow. I loved every minute of it. But he did fall victim to the bear hug, and out comes Mack The Franchise and just lays waste to Scar. Puts the big man on the ground and clears the ring. So I'm excited to see how this goes. Are you looking at Scar's weaknesses? Are you looking for how to go about this match?
I'm studying tape. That's one thing I learned from sports. Tape study's real. It's a thing. Do it, please. And I'm going to be studying a lot of tape on Scar. Not just my match, his other matches, but I'm going to have to be smart because I maybe can't head him on how I normally do with anybody else because he makes me a little small. So
that's a big old dude.
I said, the goal is to not get caught in the bear hug, but if he does, he's gonna break it. So
That'd be sick to see. I'm gonna tell y'all what. I'm going to this July 1st. If y'all aren't, I don't know what the crap you're doing. Like I'm letting y'all know if you're in this and you're not gonna be there, I don't understand why you're in this. If you're this far and because you know what we're talking about and you're not there, I don't know what you're doing. Anyways, I'm going there because this match card is crazy, but we're talking with Mac right now. Everything we're saying is true. Scar is this big old dude, but so is Mac. Look at him. The dude's a powerhouse. So watching this happen is just, it's gonna be crazy.
I can say now, if it gets to the point it was at Head Games, where the two of you just going at each other, they're gonna have to reinforce that ring because there's gonna be a lot of throwing down.
Yeah,
for real. I'm gonna be cargo loading, so we're gonna be heavy.
Nice.
All right, so I know that there's a particular question Little Guapo likes to ask of all of our guests, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
Yeah. So, who is your inspiration? Who is your favorite wrestler all time? I mean, I know it gets asked all the time, I'm sure, but it's cool to know.
Cool to know. I gotta give you one.
The number one, numero uno.
Number one. Ooh, that's tough.
Here, we can tell you ours while you think about it if you want that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mine's
right.
Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is number one for me.
I got The Undertaker all day, every day.
And I got Jeff Hardy.
I'm a Shawn Michaels guy. I'm just a sexy boy.
Yeah, no,
the GOAT.
It's real close between Shawn Michaels and The Rock. Those are my two boys.
Yeah.
I used to do the people's eyebrow thing all the time. And one of my senior pictures, I did the little Shawn Michaels lean flex thing.
Oh, that's sick.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, my mom didn't let me send those out to nobody.
Sad stuff, man.
Well, the
guy
has a question for you. The guy wants to know, where do you see yourself as a wrestler in 5 years?
In 5 years, I definitely see myself traveling a lot more. I'm trying to get more out of state this year. I've been to Colorado. I'm trying to get into Oklahoma. So in 5 years, I'm trying to see myself even further out, hopefully getting on TV somewhere. That's the plan. That's the goal, because I got some stuff I need to do in my life to get to that point, but I'm going to try to take care of it.
I can't wait to watch Mack The Franchise's first televised match.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, Mac, I'm gonna just keep it a stack with you, man. I really enjoy watching you wrestle, and I really wish that we had someone like you in wrestling right now. I think the closest person we have is probably Montez Ford, is the closest person I can get to what you're bringing into the ring.
Yeah,
You're just bigger.
Yeah,
man, I don't know, man. It's just it's a lot of people at independent wrestling, I'm realizing, are just things that I feel like are necessary that aren't on television. So I really hope that you break out and make it there, man.
Now, one thing I have to add about Montez and the Street Profits, I need them to stop wearing jerseys. I started doing it first.
You thought it first.
And then I was just like, oh, come on. You guys
All
don't
right.
believe how often, like, I'll sitting there watching TV and, like, somebody pop up with black and yellow gear. And I was like, why is everybody wearing black and yellow all the time now, man? This ain't right.
So Montez, Dawkins, I mean, it's been put out there. Y'all have been put on notice. Stop it with the jerseys. That's gimmick infringement. Stop it.
Stop it. Hey,
So
look at that.
In the chat, Mikey said BCW's in Oklahoma as well and about to break into Arkansas. So if you're looking to travel, he might know a guy.
Okay.
So-
you know, I was actually born in Arkansas, so it's a little,
Oh.
everything's just making
I'll be a
little-
trip home.
Heck yeah.
Help expand your competition range a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be dope. So we're coming down to the last 15 minutes of the show. I want to get out you're on the show with us. I mean, you were sitting up in the back rooms for like 45 minutes. So if you got just anything that you want to get out on this platform right now to everyone watching, what do you got?
Let's see.
I know this was like kind of out of nowhere, but
On the spot.
I got a couple of things lined up. See, this Saturday, Prima Vista Event Center, Rampage Wrestling is going to have some free matches going on from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., followed by a live musical performance. Next Saturday, we're going to be at the Hub City Comic Con. Oh, it's West Texas Comic Con. We're going to be at West Texas Comic Con Saturday and Sunday. And then July 1st, BCW, it's going to be me versus Scar. I'm going to break that bear hug.
I want to see it, man. I want to see some Dragon Ball stuff. You just breaking out of it. Like,
The Rampage,
You know, I have
that's
a
in
fun episodes in
Plainview.
between where we just go to the store for no reason.
What'd you say, Little Guapo?
Rampage is in Plainview.
yeah,
correct?
it's where?
Where's Rampage? Where's the Rampage show at?
The Rampage show, it's in Lubbock, the Prima
Oh, it's
Vista
in
event.
Lubbock. Okay.
Where at?
The Prima Vista Event Center. You can look it up on Google or Facebook.
Okay.
Can't really think of the address right now, but we'll have matches between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. and it's completely free. You just pull up, and just come watch some wrestling. I'm going to be there, and some other great wrestlers going to be here too. So come watch some free West Texas wrestling.
For the free this weekend.
So with that, with being able to look out on Google, look out on the socials and everything, how do the people listening at home, how do they get a hold of you? Like do you want to throw your socials out there for everybody?
Let's see. I got Mack The Franchise on Facebook. I got Mack The Franchise 99 on Instagram. I think Mack The Franchise 99 on TikTok. I need to get on that. I'm old, I guess. And I think Mack The Franchise 99 on Twitch. And Mack The Franchise 99 on Twitter.
Yeah, so you search up Mack the Franchise, you're gonna find it.
Yeah, pretty much. If you just Google Mack The Franchise, a lot of my stuff will pop up. I won that Google battle.
Mikey also asked if you're gonna be in the egg roll contest.
Unfortunately, no. I said I was carbo loading for July 1st, but that's not till later.
Well, just so you hear, we got to get those egg rolls, get them on ice so that we can get them ready to go right before the July 1st show. Because
Get them on
I ain't gonna lie,
ice.
I want to watch.
Get them on ice.
You spelled Mac wrong.
That's M-A-C-K.
Oh,
Oh, go figure.
What happened when I let somebody type?
I
Yeah.
put the C there. I don't know where,
It just ran away. Come on. Now.
yeah, I guess I selected it or something. I don't know.
All right, so we touched on a whole lot of things here, but one of the things I want to ask you, if you've got people out there right
Thanks,
now,
Mikey.
maybe some of these, like some of the little kids, if they got a chance to see this and they're thinking to themselves, man, I want to be a wrestler like Mac one day. What is your advice? What is your information you're going to put out to them?
My information is do your research, choose a school you feel comfortable that is for you, and don't be expecting to just get in the ring and be throwing F5 spears and doing everything, because pro wrestling is for real. We train, and we operate. We drill to make sure that it's muscle memory. So don't come in and just expect them to be having necessarily just goofy fun all the time. Training's fun if you like to get good at what you're doing, if you know what I'm saying.
So, you go. You got it.
I've talked to a couple people that have, they're like, oh, just recently before the head game show, I was talking to somebody and he was like, all that stuff's fake, isn't it? I was like, I mean, it's predetermined, but you think, Mack the Franchise falling off the top of the ladder, you think that's fake? Like, that hurts. That's the real deal right there.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Jeb, like, I don't know. I have a lot of friends because I'm just barely 18. So I have a lot of friends that are like, no, I'm not watching wrestling, man. That's all fake. It's a bunch of kids. And I literally at head games, we saw Jeb when he went through the table and he had a big old gash on the side. I was like, I mean, yeah, it's predetermined, but it's real. There it is, right there.
That's on me. I'm sorry.
All right, so
Yeah.
I'm not 100% why the guy thought he needed to put that out there in the world, but yes,
That's tough.
there was a time when I went to the Chris Adams School of Wrestling for 2 whole weeks and did nothing but take clotheslines and fall on my back.
So, Mac, while we're on this conversation,
that is 100%. I mean, don't get me wrong. We learned about how some of the moves are done, how, in the tombstone, how Taker cradles their head with his thighs. And we learned how to make the figure 4 look like it hurts without it hurting. And there's all sorts of moves we learned, but all we did was take clotheslines and fall on our shoulders for 2 weeks.
Oh, man. Well, kind of springboarding off of that, this is kind of personally for me because I'm thinking about checking it out. Do you? I'm guessing you also like have a job and then you do this as like a hobby, even though you put in a lot of freaking work to do this, but as like just on the side thing. So is that like a strenuous thing to do, to be working and to put as much effort as you do to put into this? Or is it kind of just like a second nature, like, yeah, it's a lot of effort, but it's what I want to do with my like right now. So
yeah, about that second one, like it's because my job, it used to kind of get in the way because they used to schedule me like on the weekends a lot. But like after I worked there for about like a year and a half, I finally was able to have a sit down with my manager. And I was like, look, like I want to do this wrestling thing, but all the events are literally on the weekends. Like I'm not on Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown. Like that's on TV. I'm not there. I need to be on like on Saturdays or Sundays. Like travel. And once we kind of came to understand it, like it became easier. But like it's kind of with the work, training, film watching, stuff like that. You just need to balance it out.
And yeah, that's awesome that's how that works for you. And that's another thing. That's another not, it's not real, but that's another very real aspect of it. It's just the mental part of wrestling is you got to take all the time to be able to take hits, but also be able to put on a good show and also be able to do all the training in between. While as an independent wrestler, you also got to be working.
Yeah.
Like that's just really highly respect, especially you because of all the just like the work you put in. Like you can see it in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, like sometimes basketball players talk about going back to the lab. Whenever I get in the ring, that's my lab. I just get in there and try stuff. Sometimes I'll get somebody in training and we'll just start like wrestling and I'll figure out like a hold. Like I'll grab somebody a certain way and I'm like, I don't know what this is. And then like I'll go figure out what it is. Then I'll go figure out how to properly apply it.
That's cool.
And figure out how to escape it too, because I don't want to just learn how to put stuff on people and not figure out how to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Unfortunately, my girlfriend's my test dummy most of the time.
That's tough.
Yeah, she's a tough girl.
All right, so
That's awesome,
that begs the question: which match are you more afraid of, you and Scar, or you and your girl?
considering what's looking at me right now, I don't know.
Well, we're coming down to that
That's
last
good stuff,
5 minutes of our show. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. It's been great having you here. Been great getting to hear all of this about you, getting to hear what it's like to live a day, as Mack The Franchise. We're definitely looking forward to July 1st. And, if you catch a break that hug, chant, that might be us.
Yeah, just maybe.
I don't want to miss that. And
So-
I appreciate you guys having me on. I don't get the opportunity to really share kind of like my story and stuff like that. A lot of the times people see me, they just see me come out and beat somebody up, but then I leave. So, and they like me, but I appreciate that. So I appreciate you guys having me on here and getting to spread my story, so to speak.
Oh, absolutely.
Anytime you want to be on, you just let us
Yeah.
know.
For sure.
You're welcome on our show anytime, man. Want to throw out again, thank you for being here tonight. Want to thank everybody in the chat for showing up with the questions.
All the new
Thanks to our new followers.
Yes, thank you guys. Remember, that is Mack, M-A-C-K, The Franchise, or Mack The Franchise 99, all the social media platforms. So give him a follow. Y'all
Go
keep
check
up
them out
with-
this weekend.
Yes,
out
come
July
this
1st.
weekend. It's free, man. It's free.
Free.
If you're doing nothing, just pull up.
Want to say thanks to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for our intro outro music. And that's going to do it for us this week. Make sure you're checking out BCW Hot Blooded July 1st, TMW Event Center in Levelland. Check out Squared Circle Pros, Headlocks, and Heat Waves July 22nd at Jake's. And with that, we're going to tell you once again, we are not your average marks. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink it all away and find my head right.